because this may be the first time in a long time that something is actually speaking to your heart. You've been feeling something inside you shifting, haven't you? You can't explain it to anyone. You don't have the words for it. You just feel different. The things that used to make you happy don't feel the same anymore. The people you used to run to don't feel close anymore. The plans you made don't feel right anymore. You look fine on the outside. You laugh, you talk, you function. But inside, it feels like your soul is carrying something heavy and no one knows. It's like something is pulling you away from your old life, from your old habits, from your old self, and you don't know whether you're breaking or becoming. Listen to me. Don't ignore that feeling. That's not stress. That's not confusion. That's not overthinking. That is Allah. Allah is moving you. He's rearranging your life. He is shaking your heart. He is preparing you for something you cannot see yet. And if you leave this video right now, you will miss the explanation. Your heart has been begging for in silence. So stay just a little longer. Listen with your heart, not your ears. Because what I'm about to tell you might finally make your life make sense. The life you are still holding on to is too small for the soul you are becoming. My dear brother, my dear sister, if only you could see yourself from the outside right now. If only you could see how much you've changed without even realizing it. How your heart has grown. How your eyes see differently. How your soul has been quietly stretching beyond the limits of the life you once settled for. The heaviness you feel is the pressure of becoming. You are not who you once were. And the spaces, the routines, the relationships that once made sense are now too small for you. Have you noticed it? Your conversations have changed. Your reactions have changed. Your ability to hold pain has changed. Your tolerance for superficiality has changed. You no longer feel alive in places that once felt like your entire world. Not because anything is wrong, but because your soul has outgrown them. Growth is not always loud. Sometimes it is silent, quiet, unnoticed even by you. And then one day you wake up and nothing feels the same. You look at your life and it feels like clothes that fit you once but now feel tight and uncomfortable. It's not that life became worse. It's that you became bigger. Your soul expanded beyond the dimensions of your current life. And Allah in His mercy is showing you, my beloved servant, you cannot stay here anymore. Your heart is aching because it is trying to remain in a space your soul has already left. That is the heaviness you feel. Your spirit is asking for room to breathe. You are being stretched, opened, prepared, but your mind is still clinging to the familiar, to what was once safe, to what once gave comfort, to what once made sense. But Allah is inviting you to a life that will require a stronger, freer, more surrendered version of you. The tightness in your chest is not anxiety. It is your soul saying, I cannot shrink anymore. You have seen things. You have survived things. You have learned things. You have cried in ways that changed you forever. The old version of you would break under the weight you are carrying today. But you didn't break. You shifted. You grew. You rose. When you felt like you were drowning, Allah was actually teaching you to breathe underwater. And now, you cannot pretend to be who you were before the storm. When you experience deep pain, you do not return the same. Your heart is wiser now. Your vision clearer. Your values more real. Your longing more sincere. You don't want temporary anymore. You don't want shallow anymore. You don't want loud, dramatic, inconsistent anymore. You want something real, something with weight, something that feels like peace, something that brings you back to Allah. And because your soul is craving higher, your old life feels heavy now. Even the things that once made you smile now feel dull. Even the people you once called home now feel distant. Even the comfort you once protected now feels suffocating. Not because anything is wrong, but because your soul has tasted something higher, something truer, something more sacred. You cannot return to who you were, because that version of you was built by the pain you have already survived. That version of you existed before Allah touched your heart. And when Allah touches your heart, you cannot unfeel it. You cannot unknow truth. You cannot unsee wisdom. So now, Allah is moving you, not by force, not by punishment, but by a gentle divine push. He is guiding you toward the life you secretly prayed for, but were afraid to step into. He is removing what you would have held onto forever, even if it was slowly harming you. He is releasing you from what you thought you needed, so He can give you what will actually nourish your soul. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels heavy. Yes, your heart aches in ways you cannot explain. But every ache is a message. There is more for you than this. Allah is not asking you to abandon your past. He is asking you to rise beyond it. You are not losing yourself. You are meeting yourself perhaps for the first time. You are not being emptied. You are being cleared, prepared, expanded. So the blessing that is written for you will not feel overwhelming when it arrives. The life you are being moved into will not require you to shrink, silence, or betray yourself to keep it. It will feel like breathing again. It will feel like coming home. Allah is taking back what your heart began to depend on more than Him. My dear brother, my dear sister, sometimes the things we love the most are the very things that begin to quietly replace Allah in our hearts. Not intentionally, not knowingly. It happens slowly, softly, silently. We start depending on a person to feel understood. We start depending on someone's presence to feel safe. We start depending on a relationship, a dream, a voice, a plan to give us meaning. And without realizing it, our heart begins to lean on creation more than the Creator. We don't say it with words, but the heart whispers it in secret. If I lose this person, I will fall apart. If this doesn't work out, my life is over. If this leaves me, I have nothing left. And Allah loves you too much to allow your heart to believe that. So He removes the thing you were beginning to worship, not because you are unworthy, not because you are not meant to love, not because you are being punished, but because Allah refuses to let your heart be owned by anything other than Him. The pain is not just about losing someone. The pain is realizing how deeply your soul held on to them. You cried not because they left. You cried because of how much of yourself you had given away to them. You see, when your heart attaches too tightly to what is temporary, Allah, in His love, must separate you from it so He can return you to Him. He is not taking something from you. He is taking you back. He is reclaiming what is His, your heart. Because your heart was never designed to hold the weight of worship except for Allah. And anything the heart worships besides Him will eventually break it. So Allah removes it. Yes, it feels like heartbreak. Yes, it feels like loss. Yes, it feels like your chest is collapsing inwards. Like your breath can't find its way out. Like your ribs are holding grief like a cage. But my dear, what you are feeling is not the pain of loss. It is the detachment of your heart from what was never meant to own it. You are not crying because something ended. You are crying because your heart is learning to return home. Home is not a person. Home is not a plan. Home is not a future you imagined. Home is Allah. There were moments when you placed your peace in the hands of someone who did not even have control over their own heart. There were nights where your happiness depended on a message, a reply, a voice, a reassurance. And Allah saw your heart bending. He saw your reliance shifting. He saw your spirit leaning. He said, Dikabu kulli kullama muhamdakum mina kullama tastadu. No, my beloved, your heart belongs with me. And so He removed, not because He wants your heart to be empty, but because He wants your heart to be safe. You see, when Allah removes something, it is not subtraction, it is protection. He didn't let that relationship continue because it would have taken you further from Him. He didn't let that person stay because they had already become a doorway to forgetting Him. He didn't let that dream unfold because your happiness became attached to it more than to Him. So He took it back. And I know it hurts. The kind of hurt that is not loud, not dramatic, not angry. The kind of hurt that sits quietly in your chest and aches when you breathe. You wake up with it. You sleep with it. You pretend you're fine while your soul is trembling inside you. But this pain is not punishment. It is purification. Allah's cleaning your heart, reopening it, resetting it, realigning it, so it can love again, but in the right way. In a way that leads you back to Him, not away from Him. You did not lose them. You were saved from giving your whole soul to something that was only meant to be temporary. Sometimes Allah has to break your heart to save your soul. Your isolation is not loneliness. It is a divine appointment. My dear brother, my dear sister, I know the silence you are living in is heavy. The distance from people feels confusing. The quiet feels louder than any noise ever did. You keep asking yourself, why am I alone? Where did everyone go? Why is Allah separating me from everything I thought I needed? Let me tell you something with love. You are not alone. You are being called. This is not abandonment. This is a divine appointment. There are seasons in life where Allah closes every door, removes every distraction, takes you away from every crowd, slows down every plan, and leaves you with nothing but Him, not to punish you, but to reintroduce Himself to your heart. You see, when you are surrounded by noise, your heart drowns in the voices of the world. Your spirit becomes tired, carrying emotions that do not belong to you. Your soul becomes confused, trying to keep up with people who were never meant to understand you. So Allah says, come away, come sit with me. This isolation you feel is actually an invitation. Allah is calling you to the private room of your soul, a room where only He enters. And yes, that room can feel empty at first. You look around and there are no hands to hold, no voices to guide you, no presence to reassure you. But that's the point. Allah is teaching you how to hear His voice again. The voice your heart forgot how to recognize. You are not isolated. You are being pulled away from what was draining you, away from people who didn't value your heart, away from environments that were shrinking your soul, away from relationships that were feeding your wounds, not your growth. Allah saw what you could not see. He saw the disappointment you were swallowing. He saw the words you were forcing yourself to accept. He saw the way you were losing yourself just to keep certain people in your life. So He said, no more. And He removed you, not because He wanted you to suffer, but because He is preparing you for something greater than what you were settling for. This time of isolation is where Allah is, softening your heart, reshaping your identity, cleansing your soul, and rebuilding your strength. You are in a phase of unlearning who you pretended to be, unlearning the love you begged for, unlearning the habits that numbed your pain, unlearning the fears that kept you small. Isolation is where Allah remakes you. And yes, it hurts to let go. Yes, it stings to feel forgotten. Yes, it feels scary when the familiar disappears. But tell me, how can Allah raise you higher? If you are still holding on to what was meant to stay behind, there are blessings Allah wants to give you that require a different version of you. So He takes you into seclusion, like He took Prophet Musa into the mountain, like He took Prophet Yunus into the belly of the whale, like He took Maryam beneath the palm tree alone. Every person Allah ever loved deeply was sent into isolation before their victory, because solitude is not abandonment. It is preparation. You are not being hidden because you are unworthy. You are being hidden because you are valuable. Diamonds are formed in darkness. Stars are seen only in night. All of Allah's most beautiful work happens in places others do not see. So if people have left, if life has quieted, if you are alone with your thoughts, don't rush to escape it. Sit with Allah. Cry to Him. Speak to Him in your own words. Let your heart open slowly, gently, naturally. For the one who learns to find Allah in silence will never fear loneliness again. Because when Allah becomes your companion, you are never truly alone. Your heart is being taught to love in a healthier, holier way. My dear brother, my dear sister, your heart has loved before, and we both know it did not love in an easy way. You loved with your whole chest. You gave without calculation. You cared without guarding. You trusted without holding back. Your love was sincere, pure, real, but it came from a place that was wounded. It came from a heart that was trying to feel worthy, trying to feel needed, trying to feel chosen. So your love was not just love, it was survival. You loved because you needed to be seen. You loved because you needed reassurance. You loved because your heart was trying to fill an emptiness that only Allah could fill. And when we love from emptiness, love becomes attachment. Love becomes dependency. Love becomes worship. And anything the heart worships besides Allah will eventually break it. So now Allah is teaching your heart a different kind of love. A love that does not steal your peace. A love that does not cost your self-respect. A love that does not suffocate your identity. A love that does not make you beg to be chosen. A love that does not make you fear being forgotten. This time, Allah wants your heart to love without losing itself. Because real love is not hunger. Real love is not fear. Real love is not attachment. Real love is not desperation. Real love is peace. A heart that is full of Allah does not cling, it connects. A heart that is guided by Allah does not chase, it attracts. A heart that trusts Allah does not beg, it receives. The love Allah is preparing you for will not demand your dignity as payment. It will not drain your energy. It will not make your chest feel tight. It will not leave you crying on the floor alone at night when no one sees. The love that Allah will bring into your life will feel like water to your soul. It will feel gentle, kind, consistent, healing, safe. It will not arrive with intensity that burns fast. It will arrive with presence that stays. It will not shake your identity. It will strengthen it. It will not ask you to become smaller to keep it. It will help you grow into who Allah created you to be. You see, the love you had before, it taught you, it shaped you, It stretched you. It broke you. But it also awakened you. It revealed the difference between love that feels like fear and love that feels like God. Love that takes your soul away from Allah and love that brings your soul back to Him. Your heart is being purified now. Allah is removing the love that made you feel unworthy, the love that made you question yourself, the love that made you beg for affection, the love that tired your soul. He is opening your heart to a love that helps you pray, a love that softens your chest, a love that feels gentle in silence, a love that lifts you closer to Jannah. This is why your heart feels strange right now. This is why nothing feels the same. This is why you cannot love the way you used to. Your heart is healing. Your heart is remembering its owner. Your heart is returning to its source. And when a heart returns to Allah, it learns to love from fullness, not emptiness, from faith, not fear, from peace, not pain. That is why Allah is keeping you single right now. Why He separated you. Why He pulled you away from what you once thought you couldn't live without. Because before Allah gives you someone to love, He must teach you how to love through Him. So your love does not drown you. So your love does not break you. So your love does not become your God. Allah is teaching you the love that does not burn, it blesses. The love that does not take, it gives. The love that does not weaken, it strengthens. The love that does not destroy your heart, it protects it. This time, your heart will love without losing Allah. And because of that, you will love without losing yourself. What you are grieving is not the person, but the version of you that existed with them. My dear brother, my dear sister, I want you to look inside your heart for a moment. Not with blame, not with anger, not with shame, but with honesty. You did not just lose someone, you lost a version of yourself that lived in that chapter with them. The person you were when you loved them was softer, more vulnerable, more open, more willing, more hopeful. That version of you believed in forever. That version of you dreamed with both hands wide open. That version of you gave without counting the cost. So when that relationship ended, it wasn't just the person who left. It was you, the version of you who existed in that love. This is why your chest aches. This is why your eyes fill without warning. This is why some nights the world goes quiet and the memory of who you once were rises like a wave inside you. You are not grieving them. You are grieving yourself. The one who used to laugh differently, the one who used to trust differently, the one who used to wake up with hope instead of heaviness. Your heart is not crying because somebody is gone. It is crying because you can no longer return to the version of yourself that didn't know this pain. Life changed you. Pain shaped you. Love awakened you. Loss broke you open. And Allah is now rebuilding you. But to be rebuilt, you must mourn what was lost inside you. Let the grief come. Let the tears fall without shame. Sit with the ache instead of running from it. Because there was a part of you that loved with innocence, that trusted with purity, that believed with sincerity. That part of you deserves to be honored. You see, nothing of you was wasted. Every tear taught you something. Every disappointment revealed something. Every heartbreak uncovered something. You learned what your heart can hold. You learned what your heart can survive. You learned that even the deepest love cannot replace Allah. You learned that your worth did not leave with anyone. You learned that the love you gave was real even if it wasn't returned. You are grieving the version of yourself who didn't know how strong you could become. And grief is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of transformation. Something in you has died, but something in you is being born. You just haven't met the new version of yourself yet, but you will. The version of you who rises from this will walk differently. They will love differently. They will choose differently. They will see life differently. They will no longer give their heart where Allah did not place it. They will no longer stay where their soul is shrinking. They will no longer beg for what was never written. Your tears are washing away the old you. Your silence is teaching you who you really are. Your loneliness is where Allah is reintroducing you to your own heart. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where you return to yourself. The version of you that is rising has more dignity, more strength, more clarity, more softness, more depth, more faith. You will not love the same way again, but you will love truer. You will not trust as quickly, but you will trust wiser. You will not give yourself away. You will give from a place where Allah remains at the center. This is not destruction. This is rebirth. This is the resurrection of a heart that finally knows where home is. You are grieving the version of yourself who didn't know what heartbreak felt like. The one who believed love was guaranteed. The one who believed presence meant loyalty. The one who believed effort guaranteed reciprocation. But now, you know better. And that knowing came with pain. You learned that not everyone who holds your hand holds your heart. Not everyone who smiles with you will stay when the tears come. Not everyone who says, I'm here, knows how to stay. You learned how fragile people can be, how temporary some connections are, how love, when not rooted in Allah, can become attachment, and attachment always breaks. You learned that you can love someone deeply and still have to walk away. You learned that your heart can break and still beat. You learned that your soul can shatter and still rise. And that is strength. But even strength has a silent ache. There are nights where your pillow holds tears you don't tell the world about. There are days where your heart feels hollow in places you didn't know existed. There is a quiet loneliness that sits beneath your ribs, untouched and unseen. But listen, my dear, that loneliness is not emptiness. It is space. Space Allah is creating in your heart for something higher. The love you once gave away was not wasted. It softened you. It stretched your soul. It taught your heart how deeply it can feel. But now Allah is redirecting that love, not to a person. To Him, He is teaching you a love that does not depend on someone staying. A love that does not collapse when someone leaves. A love that is rooted in the one who never abandons. The grief you feel is the soul releasing its old identity. The silence you sit in is the spirit learning how to breathe without attachment. The pain you carry is the heart shedding illusions so it may return to truth. Because the heart that is being born inside you now is not naive, not desperate, not afraid of losing someone. It is a heart that knows, I am held by Allah. I am seen by Allah. I am carried by Allah. I am loved by Allah. And when you know this, you will no longer chase love. You will become love. You will not seek to be chosen. You will choose wisely. You will not pour everything into one person and call it love. You will pour into Allah and let Allah write the right love into your life, one that strengthens, lifts, nurtures, and aligns with your soul. There will come a day, not far from now, when you will look back at this pain and say, that heartbreak was the doorway back to myself. And myself was the doorway back to Allah. The grief will soften, the heaviness will lighten, the ache will loosen. And in the space that pain once occupied, peace will sit beautifully, quietly, gently, because Allah never takes without giving back better. And the you that Allah is forming right now, the one rising through tears and silence, will be stronger, softer, wiser, more whole, more aligned. more surrendered, more connected to Allah. And that version of you will no longer love to feel worthy. They will love because they're already whole. The delay you cannot stand is the protection you cannot see. My dear brother, my dear sister, you have been waiting for clarity, waiting for change, waiting for a sign, waiting for relief, waiting for something to finally fall into place. And this waiting, it is heavy. There are days you wake up with hope. You tell yourself, maybe today it will happen. Maybe today things will move. Maybe today Allah will open the door I've been knocking on. And then the day passes and nothing changes. And your heart sinks again. You wonder, why is Allah delaying this? Why is my life not moving forward? Why is everyone else reaching their destination while I am still stuck here? Listen gently. What you call a delay is actually Allah's protection. You want something with all of your heart. You think you're ready. You think it's the right time. You think you know how it will benefit your life. But Allah sees what you cannot see. He sees the unseen conversations. He sees the hidden intentions. He sees the hearts of people you trust. He sees the dangers you are unaware of. He sees the storms that are forming behind doors you are begging Him to open. And sometimes the delay is the shield. The pause is the mercy. The waiting is the rescue. If Allah had given you what you asked for when you asked for it, you would have been destroyed by the weight of it. Your heart wasn't ready. Your mind wasn't prepared. Your faith wasn't strong enough yet. Your wounds were still open. And Allah does not place blessings in hands that are still bleeding. He waits until the bleeding stops. He waits until the shaking calms. He waits until you are steady, whole, grounded. Then He gives. And what He gives at the right time will never require you to lose yourself to keep it. You see, the delay is not the absence of Allah. It is the presence of His wisdom. Sometimes Allah withholds because what you are asking for is too small. He wants to give you more, but you are asking for less. Sometimes Allah delays because what you are praying for is good, but your heart is not ready to receive good yet. And sometimes Allah delays because the blessing you seek is being prepared in silence, behind the scenes. You cannot see the seeds beneath the soil, but they are growing. You cannot see the sunrise while the night is still dark, but it is coming. You cannot see the healing while the wound is still open, but it is happening. You cannot see the rearranging Allah is doing inside your soul, but it is real. Your delay is not empty time. Your delay is construction. Allah is building your character. He is correcting your vision. He is clearing your attachments. He is strengthening your spirit. He is teaching your heart how to hold blessings without worshipping them. He is preparing you to be the version of yourself who will not break when the blessing arrives, because blessings come with responsibility, and responsibility requires maturity, and maturity is built in waiting. Your tears in the waiting matter. Your prayers in the waiting matter. Your patience in the waiting matters. Your faith in the waiting is witnessed by the heavens. Angels write every sigh, every silent cry, every moment you chose to trust Allah instead of despair. This waiting is not wasted time. This waiting is worship. You are not being denied. You are being prepared. You are not being held back. You are being shaped. You are not being ignored. You are being guarded. One day, not far from now, you will look back and say, if Allah gave me what I wanted back then, I would have ruined it. His delay was the greatest protection. And that day, my dear, you will thank Him for the waiting, not just the blessing. There are nights when you sit with your thoughts and your chest feels tight, not because of what is happening, but because of what is not happening, you whisper, Ya Allah, I am trying, I am praying, I am waiting, I am holding on, but I am tired. And Allah hears that whisper.